All right, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Daily Hive with your single host today, Tone Vase. Matt is not able to make it. It is Friday night in Japan, and he happens to be unavailable. So I will do a very quick show because I gotta get to the airport. But before I go to the airport, I will be shit. Hold on. Sorry. After this show, in 1 hour exactly, I will be joining the Crypto Kid and Carl Moon. I believe on the Carl Moon's channel. I'm not sure which channel, but um, I will be on probably Carl Moon's channel in 1 hour. So catch me there as well. Okay, let's go straight to the charts and see what is going on, and review some of the stuff we said yesterday. I'm gonna, as I always do, I start with a higher time frame. The higher time frame, as I said yesterday, even though it's bearish as I was yesterday, the higher time frame is still bullish, and the higher time frame is going to stay bullish until one of two things happen. Either we get a red star candle on the monthly scale, or we break below the prior swing high, and the prior swing high was at 72. So until we get pretty much into the 70s, or get a red star candle, which will take like 3 more months to happen, the monthly chart will remain bullish. Here is the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still bearish. We have a red star candle, though the red star should go away. I believe this is a little bug in TradingView. This used to function correctly. I will try to update the code as best I can once I don't know, once I have a break. This may have to wait till after the financial summit in the Maldives when I will actually have some free time. But this red star should go away. It's still there. I don't know. It's a little strange. TradingView updates their backend sometimes, and then codes stop functioning as they did before. But the chart's still bearish. We're on a red 4, and my perfect buying opportunity would be an MRI buy 5 weeks from now. Now, if that MRI buy comes at this first moving average of 85, I will be very, very happy. And if that MRI comes at that second moving average somewhere in the 70s, I would be less happy, but that would be a more secure buy the dip. Daily chart. Now, daily chart is the interesting one. So yesterday when we were doing the show, Bitcoin was starting to break down from 94,000. And Matt even took the short trade during the show. And I know at one point that short trade would have been profitable with a few $1,000s in his favor of Bitcoin price moving. I have no idea if Matt got out of that short with a profit, a loss, or a break even. Let me text him and ask him. Maybe he'll get back to me while I'm still doing the show. How did the short trade end? Profit, loss, or break even? Oh, we're not on screen share? Fuck. No, I did screen share. What happened? How are we not on screen share? Am I on screen share now? See, this is why it's so hard to do these shows by yourself. Confirm screen share, guys. I'll wait. All right, I think screen share is there now. All right, so quickly review. Monthly chart still bullish and will be bullish until we break 70 or until we get a red star candle, which is at least a few months away. Weekly chart remains bearish. This should not be a red star. It was a red star at the low, but it's not a red, shouldn't be a red star anymore. But it's still a bearish look. Like I said, I would love to pick up the dip on an MRI buy or an MRI warning candle somewhere in the mid 80s at the first moving average, or at the following moving average And on the weekly chart, I use 20, 50, 200. So 20 period, 50 period. And the 50 period is currently at 72, but 5 weeks from now, it'll probably be closer to 77. I would like to avoid going into the 70s, but it's not out of the question. Daily chart. So as I was saying, Matt went short somewhere in I don't know, 93, $94,000 range. I don't remember where the price exactly was when Bitcoin was dropping. It fell all the way down to 91,250. This is now the sixth time Bitcoin bounced from this support area. If you guys recall, if you go back to one of the most famous times in Tone Vase's public price analysis history, I was so adamant that Bitcoin was going to break below the $6,000 area. I even had a $10,000 bet on this happening with Doug Polk. If anyone remembers that, I don't know, shoot a thumbs up or something in the live chat if you remember the $10,000 bet I had against Doug Polk, because Doug Polk said there's no way we're breaking 10,000, and I said 6,000. Sorry, and I said that we are. And the bet was made. When was the bet made? I think the bet was made up here when Bitcoin was like 7,000. The bet was made here, and I said we would break below 6,000. I said we would break below 5,000 when Bitcoin was up here at 7, and everyone thought that it had rebounded. And I was very, very adamant that it did not. And you can see it here. We had support 1. I would say this is a half. So 1, 2. I'm gonna say all of this is 2 because it happened. It's weekly candles. So you can say this is maybe another half. So support 1, support 2. Let's call that a half, and then support 3, support 4, support 5, right? Plus the 2 halves. That's 6 times we came to this area, and that's it. And then there was a waterfall, like a complete breakdown and capitulation. So this is how I always expect things to end when they continue to hit the same horizontal line coming off a swing high. Now, we're not going to have anything this disastrous on this time scale because we're working with a daily time scale. See, this situation is not like that. This is 1, this is 2. I pretty much count only back-to-back candles. This is once, this is twice, and then we were in a range. This is also wasn't a descending pattern, okay? So this wasn't anything like that, like the one before. And the one I'm talking about here is in 2023, and the big triangle breakdown was back in 2018. And this was just a downtrend. And right now, we're on a weekly scale, this is not a big deal. But on a daily scale, we are descending. We're not in a range. Yes, we broke the prior swing high, which is what made me bullish for about 12 hours. And now I'm back to being very bearish. And over here, we did hit it 6 times again. And like I said yesterday, maybe this is the first time in market history we're going to rebound from here and go to $200,000. But I will take the under. And this time around, in order for me to become bullish again, we need to cross both of these moving averages. Now, the good news is, as we cross both of these moving averages, they are going to be closer together. So we are going to be closer to a moving average crossover to the upside. I really need the daily to be above both moving averages, and I need the moving averages to cross over into the bullish zone. So far, I'm really enjoying this day. I don't really want to see Bitcoin price crash. I always want to see it go up. I just call the charts like I see them. The MRI is also still in a daily downtrend. I would personally like to buy the daily MRI, which could happen still in the 90s, right? This is a good, The 4 candle is a really good candle to go up on, and uh, and now our 5th candle, which is the barometer candle for the MRI candle, buy or sell, is gonna look pretty good. So this is setting up. We will know a lot by Monday. There's nothing that can happen on the weekend that I'm gonna take seriously, but by the time Monday closes, we will know a lot more about the markets than we do right now in pre-market open. This is the weirdest chart I have ever seen. I have never seen this. I have never seen this many hourly candles in a row. I saw it this morning. I just like right before the show, I looked at it. I'm like, is that a data bug? This is weird. I would love to see a second consecutive hourly MRI top, which is going to be tricky. We are going to need a new high, but that can happen. The markets are opening next hour. So if the market open is strong, we can hit a second consecutive daily MRI top, which is probably a sell. And I also forgot to mention on the daily chart, you have massive resistance here. I mean, it's not as bad of a resistance as it should have been back here, which is why I was super short over there. It's a little easier to break 2 moving averages when they're spread apart, but they're not spread apart by much. So this entire 96 to 98 zone is a serious resistance. Looks like I got a question from my moderators. I'll look at that in a second. I also only have 5 more minutes. Let's see. Yeah, the hourly chart, it broke the MRI resistance line. That's a good sign. It broke 2 moving averages. That's a good sign. But the big kahuna moving average is sitting there at 96. It's sitting there at 97, but it's going to be at 96 very, very quickly. So 96 is going to be formidable resistance here for Bitcoin. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Oh, the MRI. The MRI on a 4-hour chart gave us a second consecutive MRI buy opportunity. That is pretty good. And we're now working on a 1 to 4 candle correction. I think the 1 to 4 candle correction has exhausted itself. You have a declining moving average that we're hitting, and it's not looking very good. I would like to see us get to an MRI top on a 4-hour, maybe reach one of these 2 moving averages. You have one at 96, you have one at 97. This is a massive area of resistance. So this is going to be tricky. The cycle, we're still in a very bullish phase of the cycle, which is why I remain bullish for 2025. Oil remains my #1 bullish call that I've had for the last month or so. And looks like oil is continuing to rise, and I expect higher oil prices. Gold is breaking both of its moving averages, and they're about to cross over, but the daily gold is about to hit an MRI top. So that is a selling opportunity. What about the weekly? Hold on 1 second, guys. Had to sneeze. The weekly is actually looking very strong. The weekly gold, however, does need to close above these highs. Man, look how perfectly gold topped on the second consecutive MRI with the reversal candle. I mean, this is why you need to try to watch all assets that you can trade, and you wait for things like this. I mean, this was the perfect top. Perfect top. This is what I teach in my courses. Like, this is the perfect top. Perfect TA top. Gold's looking very strong on a weekly scale. You get a green star candle next week, and gold could become just like oil as one of these perfect looking trades. S&P 500, the markets will open today. They were closed yesterday. Doesn't look like they're doing much. And the picture on the S&P is very, very bearish. Just like Bitcoin, look, 1, 2, 3, and I call current situation 4. Same thing as Bitcoin. Look, the MRI support line is absolutely holding up the price of Bitcoin, price of S&P, but I don't think that's going to last either. I think we're going to dip down. I think the Biden administration will do something before Trump's inauguration. Maybe they'll, I don't know, blow up the Capitol or something. I have no idea. But they'll do everything and anything to prevent Trump from doing anything good with the economy. So, whoa, yield curves. Oh man, this is weird. I don't have time to get into it today, but that is something. The Fed is just insane, right? The free market is saying rates need to rise, and the Fed is like, nope, we're gonna drop them. I think the Fed's gonna raise rates. Okay, and that is it. I don't have much time to get into anything else. I'll look at your one question. At what price and below do you start to call a bear market for Bitcoin? Over the last four shows, people have been asking. I'd imagine below 70 myself. Would the low be in around 30K? Uh, yeah, below 70. A sustained below 70. Sustained below 70. I don't see it. Like we need to maybe even below 60. I mean, I think we have to break the samurai support line. Look, even the 200 days still rising. Was it ever falling? The 200 weeks, sorry. Actually, the 200 week has never fallen. We've broken it to the downside, but yeah, I think we have to break the MRI support line. We had no MRI support line in the last bull market. And oh, that was a very low MRI support line. I don't have a good answer to that question. We've never had a bear market in this point of the cycle. So I'm not even thinking about the bear market. Any thoughts on the dollar? Probably not. I haven't looked at it in forever. I don't want to look at that chart. I don't want to break that chart. DXY. And then I got to go. Wow. 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 I'm bullish on the dollar. I've always been bullish on the dollar. The only time I've ever been bearish on the dollar is during the stupidity of the pandemic. Not even the pandemic. I don't have time to get into it, but the only time I've ever been bearish on the dollar was in 2020, after the election. That's the only time I've ever been bearish on the dollar, and but I've been bullish on the dollar my entire career. My entire career in markets, well, most of it. I've been bullish on the dollar. The only time I was bearish was between 2020. Was the only time I've been bearish on a dollar was uh here was uh from the election of 2020 up until we broke out. So this was the only time I was bearish on the dollar. Other than that, I've been bullish on the dollar pretty much my entire career, and I think the dollar is going to over 200. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And don't forget to check out the Financial Summit in Maldives. In 40 minutes, I will be go back to the homepage here. In 40 minutes, I will be on Carl Moon's channel talking markets. And also today is the day I'm going to start eating again. I've been on I was on a water fast for 70 hours. I then continued drinking only water and normal fasting for at the moment I am about 130 hours into a fast, maybe 135 hours, something in that zone. So I'm only drinking water with some electrolytes. And electrolytes is just a fancy term for nutrients. It's sodium, potassium, magnesium, a little manganese, a little zinc. That's all electrolytes are. If you do it right, if you buy it some shitty store brand, they'll have sugar and other garbage. But that's what electrolytes are. But I'm about to eat some bone broth with some egg yolks. Drink some bone broth with some egg yolks, and have a proper dinner later tonight. Bye, guys. Jobs report in 8 minutes. No, no thoughts. I don't think it matters all that much. The administrations are flipping. All right, bye guys. So next one, I wish I could stick around for the jobs report, but if something's crazy happening, I don't know, maybe I'll have time to do another show from the airport. Bye guys.